Have you ever realized that the more you talk about your future plans, the less likely you are to do them? This sounds like a bit of a paradox. You probably know people who talk and talk and talk and go on and on and on about awesome things they want to do, things they want to accomplish, places they want to go, etc. But they never accomplish anything. What if the problem isn't just about how much you're talking, but who you're talking to? We all have dreams and ambitions. We all have goals, and we like to share them with quite a lot of people. It's really exciting to talk about the future, to envision the possibilities and hear encouragement from other people. We talk about our goals, our New Year's resolutions, and we dream big as we talk about these business ideas we're gonna try and bring into reality, fitness goals that we have for the new year, travel aspirations, relationship goals, and so on and so forth. But what if constantly telling other people about your plans is actually going against you? What if every conversation about your goals is quietly robbing you of the drive, the motivation to actually accomplish them? My name is Dr. Joe, and this is Purpose, Prayer, and Plains in a prosperous village. Anansi, the spider, had inherited the richest land from his father, who had been the most successful farmer in the village. On the day he received the land, he proclaimed in front of everybody, "I will surpass my father over here. My field will be the greatest in the land." All the villagers started cheering. All the young women suddenly started adoring him. All his friends were celebrating, and his enemies plotting in secret. In his first year, distracted by all the praise, the celebrity, the celebrations, all the women and concubines, Anansi neglected his fields. His enemies sabotaged his crops at night, and the harvest was pitiful in the first year. "Next year, I will do better," he boasted. He goes out and he tells everybody that he's going to do even better next year. But the second and third years brought exactly the same sort of failures. His distractions grew, and his enemies kept sabotaging his work at night. By the third year, his friends had left. All the girls and concubines had abandoned him. All the other villagers started making fun of him. He was a failure. He was an outcast. His reputation was in ruins, and he fell into a deep depression. Desperate, Anansi went to his father to seek counsel. His father said, "The land rewards quiet work, Anansi, not pride. Admit your failure to people. Labor when no one sees you. Let your actions, rather than your words, speak for you." Anansi thought very, very hard about this, and humbled, he decided to confess his failure to the village. He was mocked. He was abandoned. He built a wall around his field, something he wouldn't even imagine doing before. The wall completely covered his field, so that whenever he was making any sort of progress, nobody would be able to see it. He then began to work in secret. He toiled moonlight and dawn, and he learned from many other farmers. He prayed and he spoke to his father very often about what he has to do at every stage of the planting process. In the first year, his harvest was quite modest. By the third, his crops rivaled the best in the village. And by the fifth year, his fields produced so much harvest that they fed not just his village, but all the nearby villages, and brought immense wealth and distant merchants and friends. So, when asked how he succeeded, Anansi replied, I stopped talking and started working. The land listens only to those who toil in silence. From a psychological perspective, when Anansi shared his plans with way too many people, he felt a premature sense of accomplishment. Think about it. The positive reactions he received, the applause, the admiration, the attention from women, all that praise, tricked his mind into believing that the work was already done. And this illusion of progress diminished his motivation and left him stuck in a cycle of talking and no action. But there was a deeper, crazier metaphysical issue. From a Judeo-Christian perspective, words are not meant to be thrown around carelessly. Proverbs 14 verse 23 says, "All hard work brings profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty." This wisdom does not condemn the act of sharing plans outright, but it emphasizes that words must be paired with action. When Anansi focused more on talking than working, he not only risked failure, but also became entangled in pride, in the admiration, in the fame, in other people's jealousy. When he failed, everyone noticed. Everyone ridiculed him. He soon realized these people didn't really care. You see, pride often manifests subtly, as it did with Anansi, who sought validation by sharing his grand ambitions. I am going to go and do this and that. I am going to go to the gym. I'm going to start this business. I'm going to do this course. I want to do blah, 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 blah. By announcing his plans to everyone, Anansi spent more time and energy on building this image of greatness rather than building his field. This pride created a dangerous pattern where his reputation as a dreamer superseded the reality of him becoming a doer. So what should be you and my takeaway from Anansi's story? He learned a very, very valuable lesson. It isn't about keeping one's goals secret. That's the point. No, it's that you have to really be careful about who you tell your goals to. He discovered that sharing plans with those who would hold him accountable and trusting his fathers were the keys to success. By the way, father was a representation of God, elders, mentors, coaches, the carriers of wisdom, the people who are disciplined around us, and the people who are able to hold us accountable. They are all quietly watchful and almost never utter a single word to us unless we speak to them. God is the best example of this. This is why successful people write down their goals and they meditate on those instead of tell everybody constantly about what they're going to do. So, my friend, the next time you have any serious goals, choose really carefully who you tell those goals to. Only speak to your mentors, experienced people who can help you with your goals, friends who are going to be there to hold you accountable, and in my opinion, nobody else. But the most important person out of all of these is your good old Father in heaven, God.